know.
And I can write this shit down.
Yeah.
Just something I just saw that I've been watching really, really interestingly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell about on show. There's a few other things I want to talk about on show.
No worries.
But QAnon were one of them as well, so
that's good.
We were talking about that because I've just watched the video and I'm still not satisfied that
Well, that's what I've been kind of saying. But when you look at some of the stuff, obviously, the only thing. Sorry, I've just seen that in the chat. Jason's got hair. Call the cops. I love it. Oh dear.
Great. Theme tune. Are we back on yet?
We are.
I think that's some. I'm just going to have to sort. I think it's this laptop. I think it's just that old and fucked. It's just. Well, good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News, Monday, the 29th of June in 2020, the year of fucking madness. I did say at the beginning, 2020, the year of vision. And perhaps the people with the vision are the ones that are going to come out at the end of 2020 with the best result. Well, let's hope so anyway. Good evening. Oh, let's say good evening. It's Jason on the far right. Ooh. Anyway, thanks for that. Anyway, as usual, I am joined by someone whose life matters. Good evening to you, Owen.
Good evening, Jason. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you, pal?
I'm all right. What's it like to have a life that matters? Oh,
massive! It really, really. I'm touched. I'm touched by the sentiment, Jason. No, don't take it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
Do you know what I've done? I even pulled my green screen over.
Oh, you haven't, have you?
No, I should pull it over. Hang on.
Pull it over. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Dawn. Good evening, Dave Iron, Uniblack Sister, Tom, Matthew, Maximizer, Dawn. Hope you're all well, guys. Hope you're enjoying the weather. Sorry. Apologies if you've had poor weather today. I do apologise. I've been basking in 42 degrees today, and it's been marvellous. I'm lying because I couldn't stand it after a while. 5 minutes at a time. I had to do about 5, literally 5 minutes in the sun, and that was it. I was well and truly baked. So yeah.
It looked like we caught it today, mate. Big
I have, Jason. I have, yeah. Especially the top of my brow.
I'm not surprised. I really should do this shit before, but there you go. I've got a green screen. I just need to find somewhere to play it on anyway.
And Dean Yates, welcome to the show. Hi, Dean. Yeah, Jason, just explain that photograph. Just explain the photograph, because there was something, I think, is it Dot? Yes, Dot said, Kinnell, Jace with hair, call the cops.
Yeah, the photo at the beginning, that's me when we were the company that I was a director of. We were sponsors at Sheffield Wednesday for one game, first game at season. And a fucking terrible season, I know. Honestly, we had a box that must have cost us, not us but company, must have cost, I think, and bear in mind we were doing proper crap. They were costing 1,700 quid a week. And out of that, you got, out of the 1,700 quid a week, everyone thinks it's all free food and free meals and free everything, but you only get 70 quid. So we've only got 70, we've got 10 guests. We've got food's all paid for and everything, you know, and what have you. But you've got 70 quid to pay for the drinks, and then after that, you know, everything goes on top of the bill at end. So that was me day out. When we walked on pitch, you know, after players, which were absolutely incredible. Then we got to stand and have his photograph taken. Chris Waddle's there, if you noticed. But he were our guest for the day, and it was the most surreal thing. I'm sat in this box area where we've just had his tea and everything, so dinner, and it's all been moved out. And what they did is they did a quiz. So they sent a quiz to each box, and then they had a winner. This was long before smartphones. We're talking 2003 season, I think. And so in end it just ended up just being me and Chris Waddle playing, trying to work out these questions. And it was weird. I was looking up, and he's looking at me, and he's going, "Weren't that so and so? Weren't that?" I'm sure that was, and I'm thinking to myself, "This is Chris Waddle that is there." And I became good friends with him for quite a while after that. We lost touch. I think he started doing a lot more work for BBC, and we're travelling around a lot. So I didn't see him as much, and we sort of lost touch. But they were always nice. He still played. I mean, the day after that we took, I think I went over to Barnsley to watch him play some Sunday League game.
Wow.
You know, so he played right up until he couldn't play anymore. I mean, he played for Harrogate Town and all shitty teams like Bradford City. And
ooh, bit of controversy there. Bit of controversy, Jason.
I'm not controversial. Listen, before we started, there was something a couple of weeks ago that I got, and I was going to read it out, and it was from. I was going to read it out, and I forgot.
Okay.
As usual. So I'm going to read it out now. It's an email that I got from Yvonne Hartley, who is part of the Bamber campaign.
Part of the what campaign?
And she said, Jeremy Bamber, you know Jeremy Bamber, convicted of killing 5 members of his family, and
he
had a complete and utter load of bollocks, it were, but they've obviously kept him in. It's very complicated.
Can I just interrupt you there, just for a minute?
So anyway, she sent me, "Hope you're all keeping well, and a hearing against the CPS disclosure of vital case material was heard on the 29th of May, and we anticipate that we will hear the outcome on Friday. I am confident, but we cannot preempt what the judge will decide. But the evidence we put forward is very powerful and compelling. We will have to wait and see." With hindsight, we know that it didn't work, and now they're going to have to move on to different areas. There are lots of news reports about this, including some amazing new evidence about the corrupt actions of the senior officer in the case. And if you need any links, please let me know. I also wanted to tell you that tomorrow we are going live with a song that has been specially written for Jeremy. This will be available as a download from all major platforms from midnight tonight. There is also a video and a phone ringtone to accompany the single. We are hoping for huge attention from this and plenty of downloads. Who knows, we could have Jeremy at #1 in the charts. For all the links available, all the links are available on our website. That's www.jeremy-bamber.co.uk. And then she says, "It would be amazing if you could give a shout out on your show, please, if possible, please. We hope that once these legal proceedings are completed this week, that we'll be able to speak more openly about the case very soon. Thanks, Jason. Fingers crossed on the result we crave this week, and I hope that you enjoy the video, song, etc., which I've not seen. But you can find that at jeremybamber.co.uk, and I felt compelled to do that because we have we have been covering that right from the very start. Gren Sierra, whatever that. I can't even.
Evening, dudes.
Yeah, good evening to you. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone who's watching on Facebook. Super Lead says it's good news about the Jeremy Bamber case. Yep, it is. We all look forward to a good outcome. The longer it goes, it's just the worse that it is. And it's a terrible injustice. Miscarriage of justice, injustice has been set up and done in, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll do a show on that at another point, another time. Go on, I'll give you a shot now, then, because I've got things written down that I want to talk about. And if you've got stuff that you said you've got stuff you wanted to get in, so we'll get that in right at the beginning.
Right, that's it. I've been over the last probably about 2 weeks now. I think it is running 2 weeks, but I'll probably correct him, and I hope he's watching in tonight. But I don't know if any of you have noticed on Facebook over the last couple of weeks, there was a guy from Redcar up there in the northeast of the United Kingdom, a guy called Chris McGlade, and he's an actor, a poet, comedian, and he's actually written a poem. Well, he actually wrote the poem, and you'll probably correct me if I'm wrong, a few years ago. I'm going to say 2018. I could be wrong, Chris. I apologise if I have. And it was called A Right to Hate. Now, up to press, it might have even climbed even further than this. It's had 5 million views worldwide. And you can find it. I mean, if you just type into Facebook, Chris McGlade, I'm sure you will get many people that have either shared his video. The video, he stood outside. I think looks like a colliery, but it's not. It might be a power plant even. But he's doing this poem over there, and it's about the current times. You know, the times that we're all going through now, and in particular, he mentions about the Black Lives Matter. He mentions all things, but I think myself. I mean, I did a video probably about a couple of days afterwards. I did a live video which was in support of him, and actually put on my Facebook page hashtag I support or I stand by Chris McGlade, and that's reached over 1,500 views or 1,200 views the last time I looked. I haven't even looked today. But even my video, which was a support video for Chris, has got well over 1,200 views. That's my video. Yeah, I can see that Dean Yates is a top poem, Dean, isn't it? It's 2017. Thank you very much, Dean. Dean's going to put the link in the comments there. But yeah, I mean, just the words itself, Jason, it's kind of like what we're all trying to really say, you know, in our own way. But he puts it across so well. I mean, I know that I grew up, I was from a working class. I'm from a working class background, and it really is. It's going on about, you know, how we're all being divided and being conquered by the current situation, whichever way you want to look at it. It's very strong, very strongly written. But I think if anything in these times now, words like that have to be, you know, whatever language that you want to put your words across, you know, to the general public, it has to be a plain way in which everybody can understand it. And if you don't, there must be something wrong, because, you know, it got me emotionally, which obviously led me to do my support video the very next morning. So yeah, there's that. I mean, for people to go and have a look at that. I've been another person as well that I've been following over the last probably week or so is a lovely lady, and I believe she's from Bradford. She may correct me if I'm wrong there again. And this is a lady called Rose Green. Now, Rose, once again, is another person that tells it like it is, no holds barred. And it's all about the language and the language that we use, and how the English language in particular, has been changed over the years. And every video that she's just full of energy. You know, it's one of these people that when you see the first video, you think, right, I'll do a notification, because that last one was, you know, shit up. I want to see what she's doing next. And just the same with the Chris McGlade, very consistent in what they're saying. There's no sway, there's no political agenda with either of them. I think it's the time now, because, you know, I'm seeing things, you know, over Facebook groups and this, that, and the other, that, you know, finally everybody's waking up I think it's even been coined in the USA that this week in particular, they've titled it The Great Awakening. So I'm expecting things to happen over in the US this week. Some big stories surfacing. One of them in particular that I mentioned to you earlier was there's a couple of Ellen DeGeneres videos out today where her show has been cancelled. I think she did the last show 3 days ago on the 26th. There's a couple of videos surfacing on Facebook and YouTube in particular. And once again, that link that I had, I copied and pasted something else and lost it, but I'll try and get it and put it in the chat. But there are two videos in particular. The first one was her, where she's explaining about the last show. I think over YouTube, over on Facebook, and there's been a lot of celebrities that have been doing it recently, where they're actually giving away money. That first time when I saw them, I thought it was just a scam thing, but this was apparently on Ellen's page, and she was explaining why her show had been stopped. But the other video that has surfaced on Twitter, which I've got here. So if anybody wants to look for Mr. Deeds on Twitter, he's done something there as well. In fact, I have the link there, and I'm just going to pop that into the chat room. It's there. This is and that's the second video that I watched of Ellen, and it's completely different to the one that she was explaining about herself. About herself and about her life and about the things that's going on. So that's another.
So was she actually saying that's it? There's no more show. It's done. They're not doing it again. It's not just after lockdown. It's just she's just not doing it anymore. She's
not doing it anymore, apparently. But obviously, there's other photographs that are surfacing where she's wearing a police tag bracelet around her foot. That's on there. And then there's another one of Oprah Winfrey, and I've never seen Oprah Winfrey look like that before without all the makeup, looking really, really disheveled. And once again, she's wearing one of these what do they call them? Are they called tags that they strap to your ankle? So she's apparently wearing one. She's wearing one of those as well. And the other guy, another American chat show host, Jimmy Kimmel, he does a show that's broadcast live from the theater. So that theater is shut down, and he's no longer doing the show. And apparently he's under house arrest. So that's another one there. So and who else have we been looking at? Yeah, a future guest. It's a guy called Chris Patterson, also known as Chris Paradox, and I love his title. His job title is a Chief Inspirational Officer. Inspirational, and that's what it is with him, really. I mean, this guy's done TEDx talks. He did one in Southampton a few years ago. Unfortunately for me, he's moved over here to Portugal, so it gives me a good chance to talk about him. So he's sent me a little bio here. So he said here, ever since 2002, when he gave up his lucrative career in advertising to make himself homeless by going to live under a tree in Battersea Park for 7 months, and had his first mystic experiences, Chris has been informing, inspiring, and empowering people to live a more purposeful and meaningful, soulful lives through his performance, poetry, public speaking, writing workshops, and online courses. And he does live coaching, and he also does a daily live stream show as well. So that's Chris Patterson, my brother, aka known as Chris Paradox. And he's also set up a company which is a community interest company, which I love the sound of that. And that is called 1 Trillion Trees. And I can't remember the date. I'm going to guess it 2030. But Chris plans or wishes us all to plant 3 trillion trees by the year 2030, which is obviously going to save the environment if we don't stop doing what we're doing now.
I hope you don't want me to do a trillion. I'm sat in this fucking chair. How am I supposed to do a trillion?
Well, if you plant one, that's going to be part of it, isn't it? And then what was the other thing I was watching?
Super says he got tagged on Christmas Eve.
Yorkshire. And then the other thing that I've been having a really good nose at over the weekend, there was a premiere by the Digital Warriors production of the Secret King or the Hidden King, and that's about Joseph Gregory Hallett. His name has popped up recently in the press. Loads of conflicting stories against the guy. But once again, it's another video that I still urge people to go and have a look at, just so you can make your own mind up on what's going on. And as I say, just watching the video itself, some very interesting stuff in there. some very interesting words used there as well, with the process that Greg Hallett's actually taken. I'm not going to do a spoiler alert and tell you, but it's only on half an hour. That's on YouTube, and that's Digital Warriors production. And the title, which escapes me, I think is The Hidden King. So that's another thing for you to have a look at on YouTube.
There you go. So that's what you've been looking at YouTube. Well, I've got some YouTube one. Well, I've got a YouTube one. I mean, there's just so many. Right, I'll just tell you about this one, and then we'll start going on about some of the issues that. Because I've got this thing about just changing one of the letters of BLM to make it completely it would be racist rather than not racist, because it's bad, it offends white people. It's designed to offend white people. Anyway, there's a YouTube channel I recently found, and it's called The Behavior Panel. Now, it's got 4 of these people that are experts on body language and stuff. And what they do is they analyse, there's 4 of them, and they analyse different interviews and things, and whether people are telling truth and stuff. And I got drawn in, I actually got drawn in by, I saw the first one I saw was Joanne Lees. Now, I don't know if you remember her. I think she was from Dewsbury. But it was back in 2000, 2001. She was out back in Australia with a boyfriend, Peter Falconio.
Yes.
You remember? And then suddenly he's dead, and she's running off and saving herself and all this sort of stuff. But so what they were doing is there was 4 of them. They're all clearly well versed in all this. In fact, they tell you the qualifications before. Someone does stuff for FBI, someone does stuff for does court stuff, control body language, that sort of thing. Halifax, wasn't it? I don't know, it might have been that. I thought it was Dewsbury, actually, to be fair. And I was 4 people on it. Now there's Mark Bowden, Bowden, Scott Rouse, Rouse, Chase Hughes, the normal way, and they are. Chase Hughes. What the fuck have I missed one off? Chase Hughes, Mark Bowden, Scott Rouse. Anyway, it's called The Behavior Panel, and there's 4 of them, and it's really good because it's edited. But none of sometimes when you've got 4 people on the same thing, they cross over into each other, but there's none of that, and it's really good. And after I watched part 1 and part 2 of that, I mean, these are really in depth. They're an hour and 3 minutes for first part, and same again probably for second part. But they also did a very, very interesting one on Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew BBC interview.
The BBC interview, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that is really, really is worth watching. And they're worth watching. The Behavior Panel. I'm going to have a look at some of their other stuff, because I think I thought it would really, it kept me sat riveted. I watched the first Peter Falconio one, then I watched the second one, the Joan Lees one, then I watched the first Prince Andrew one, and then I got into the second one and fell asleep. So I've still got the second Prince Andrew one, but they're not only analysing his body language and stuff from that interview, but they're also doing it from an interview that he did in 2010. It was also about Epstein and how different things are, and how different he responds and things like that. It's really interesting. So that's called the Behavior Panel.
Yeah, for me, with stuff like that, I mean, particularly with the times that we're going through now, I think that Behavior Panel should be on at the end of every news broadcast, every presidential prime minister's speech.
They do all of them, everybody.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. I'm going to have to look for that myself. That looks really good. What's Dean saying here? Check out this channel, Earth United. Yes, that's the Casanova show as well. I've been, in fact, I've just signed up to that myself as well, Dean. I'm quite interested. I quite like what this guy's saying. There are a lot of people. I mean, there are people that are gaining more and more traction on YouTube now that are out there trying to, you know, I hate saying the word, wake people up. And they are good.
The waters are being muddied as well, though. The waters are being muddied all the time, and it's really difficult to decipher because it is the truth, whatever you want to call it, the truth movement, or you're a truther, or you're a conspiracy theorist, or you're just a different thinker. Mm-hmm. If you, well, people won't fucking. This whole industry, which is what it's become, is like a soap opera. I mean, you've got people rising from the dead. I mean, what's his name? Fucking Zed fucking Cars or whatever his name is, who's suddenly come back. What was his name before? Ben Fellows.
Oh, right.
Fucking Zed Cars or something. I don't know.
God.
But he's back. So he changes his name and he comes back. I mean, I don't know what we heard with him. Ooh. That didn't sound right well. If my laptop blows up, I'll let you know.
Okay.
It's fucking what we're talking about.
Ben Fellows.
We're talking about what?
Ben Fellows.
Ben Fellows, that's it. So Ben Fellows was, and there's lots of controversy. I don't know what went on. I don't know what happened or whatever, but I know there were a lot of people complaining about his money. They decided they were going to go and walk around the world and become some sort of guru, you know, in barefoot or whatever, and he would be for a certain Zed Phoenix. That's
Zed
it.
Phoenix. Cheers, Max.
Fucking Zed Cars. It is more like a TV show than it is truthful. But you know, people are still flocking back. Fuck off!
Mm-hmm.
Like they flocked back to fucking Ian Crane after he'd told everyone aliens were going to fucking invade Earth at 2012 Olympics. You know, it comes back and it's fracking, and then it's 5G, and then it's this and it's that and it's the other, and you. It just keeps you. It just keeps your attention.
It keeps the momentum going for them, doesn't it? Yeah, I get you.
Like this fucking Kate Shamani woman that's suddenly appeared from nowhere.
The natural nurse in a toxic world. I think that's what the title runs. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. She suddenly appeared from somewhere. I don't know what she's spouting or what she's selling. But I might put a wig on and some makeup because that same thing happened with that fucking Danielle LaVerite, who ended up turning out to be an actress who'd been on fucking This Morning with Philip Schofield. In fact, it was probably her going on fucking This Morning with Philip Schofield that turned him gay. Suddenly she's got like this huge, you know, suddenly she's got this quick following and with just these things, dear the Queen, I am a cunt, you are a cunt, now please fuck off. And I remember it, and then she just disappears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are just popping up. I mean, that's the thing with me that I've noticed that as well, is that these people that have come back, they've come back with what's the word I need to use here? With a catalogue of goods you can buy. You know, they've already got the merchandise ready before they've done the new broadcast. And that's the thing for me, is that, you know, they can be on our YouTube pages and Facebook and everything else. But as soon as you get onto their videos, rather than going straight to the point, they're straight into the products first of all, advertising the products. Now, for me, don't know about anybody else in the chat room, but that kind of, you know, grinds my gears because we're there. We've tuned in to listen to what you have to say. And if you haven't noticed, you know, businesses are shutting down, you know, there's no money for people to spend, but yet the first immediate thing is, you know, please buy the t-shirt, please buy the calendar, please, you know, the Willy Warmer, whatever you want to call it, you know. and it's annoying to see that people are profiting of a situation that we should really be dealing with.
Well, there are exceptions, right? There are people that I'll give a pass to.
Yeah.
That sell products and merchandise, and I don't know what it's like, so I don't buy. I don't buy. I don't know whether the products are any good or not. So I've never bought any. But there are certain people, like for one, I'd say Mark Devlin, who dedicates his life to doing this work.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he puts a whole lot of effort into it. He travels around the world.
Oh, agreed.
And and he needs some. We could do with some fucking money here. We could do with some money so I could update this laptop so that it doesn't sound like it's fucking. By the time I'm done,
I can have a proper green screen.
Yeah.
Instead of this bloody sheet that's going on my bed later. And Vinny Eastwood's the same as well. There are exceptions there, like you were saying.
I don't know about Vinny Eastwood, you see, because I don't. No, I'm still. I know. I'm not saying that, but you. I'm not quite there. Vinny. I'm still. If we were doing, let's just say, if we were interviewing him for a job, it would have been in bin.
Uh-huh.
It would have been. It would his application just simply mushroom management. Put what's your Patreon deets, Chase? I haven't got any. Got no Patreon deets. There just didn't any. I'm not doing it for that. If I want some, I'll just pack this in. I'll get a job. I can do something. I'm fucking hell. Fuck's sake, I could do fucking wind tunnel fucking experiments for wheelchairs, couldn't I?
Speaking of which, did you not have an accident with that?
Oh yeah. You can see it on top of my head still there, and the back of my head's a bit caved in.
How's the pavement?
How's
the pavement?
It were a pavement actually. It were a hill. It were a bit of solid. It were like a path. There's an old school near where I live, and I'm going to shop on my mobility scooter, which has today been condemned again. You know when you say
you wrote it off. I love
it. But yeah, I was going up. There's an old school, and I was going along, and I thought I'll just take dog on to parks. I took dog with me. And I was chucking him a few balls, and then I got to the bit. There's a bit where it goes up an hill, or there's one where you can go out, and it's actually the old school gate where the kids used to go out. But the one further up's bigger, and it's closer, and it's on my way. So I tried to go up that and fucking fell backwards. So smashed back of my head, and the front of me scooter has whacked me in the head. Which is why I've got that there, which were an egg a few days ago. But it's so it's just fucking everything just all goes fucking tits up, and then I think, well, let's see how much it is to repair. Well, I'll tell you how much it's to repair. It cost me 49 quid to have it condemned. So I would like to know, what would you? Oh, no, that's useless. It's going to need new this, new that, new that, new that. Have you crashed it? I said a few times. And you know how you can adjust the handlebars go. Well, that adjuster is like you pull it out, you push it in, and it's a hydraulic thing. It's a hydraulic thing, and that's fucking bust. So now it just goes up and down and up and down and up and down. So I've got no control over it, and I'm just going fucking. So
let's have donations, please, for Jason's new motor scooter. We'll put the details at the bottom of the screen. Let's get it sent off to Cosworth for someone. Let's get it sent off to Cosworth or Baton or whatever. Let's get it all souped up for Jace.
I don't think my wife would be pleased if we got it souped up. I mean, first, I've had to. She had to come and rescue me, so I couldn't get her up. I got a scooter on top of me, and I couldn't get up. There was one bloke who walked past, and he said, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, laid me a scooter on top of me, and daftest question. Well, I said,
"Are you all right?" Yeah.
He says, I don't think I'll be able to pick you up, mate. I said, don't mind, my wife's on the way. So she came and rescued me. That's the third time she's had to come and rescue me. I've gone down a hill, I've gone down a ravine, and so it's had a bit of hammer, and it's probably it's probably done me proud for what it's been through. But a couple of times I've come off it and injured myself. So we'll have to wait and see. I'll get me send another one when weather gets better. It's fucking freezing here,
I mean, it's mad, that, isn't it? Because last week you were talking records being broken and all the rest of it, and I thought you were set then, because I mean, obviously it is flaming June. It's known as in the UK, isn't it? But yeah. I thought it was there to last. I thought that. Well, I was hoping it would last, because I mean, I've been reading. The other thing I forgot to mention earlier is all these. I've just seen that myself. All the raves that's been going on. It's really funny, because I saw another article today where people have, the brown signs that show you where all the attractions are. The signs saying secret rave pointing that way. There's a belting one today, cannabis dealer. It was ace, it's one of these street signs pointing down. These guys in London have dotted all over the place. What's saying?
I'm still one man here. Listen, I'm out of cannabis, and I'm out of tobacco, and I'm out of money, and payday's tomorrow. So if there's anybody that wants to bring me some free weed tonight, if you're in Sheffield, you want to bring me some free weed, no problem at all. I shall take it off your hands.
That's a good hint, is that, Jason? That's a good one. I could use that one as well. Yeah. So anybody that is coming along to my my little bit of a gathering on Saturday for my birthday.
How old are you going to be?
I'm going to be 53, Jason. 53 years old on Saturday. 53. Yeah. Having a bit of a shindig. I've got a couple of my DJ mates that are going to do a Facebook Live form. Well, they're going to do a Facebook Live on Saturday night, but they're going to dedicate, at least a good half an hour set for me. I've been trying to get a DJ set together for a while, and it's amazing, when you haven't played for a while, and you go back on again. Well, in particular, because I've been using virtual DJ. I mean, there are others that are available, but I've been using virtual DJ. But trying to get my head around all that has been balmy.
Virtual DJ is easy. It's easy. It's the best one to use. I used to use it when I was working.
Right.
I used to use virtual DJ. You can get it to beat mix and everything, so you don't have to do it all.
I have actually done. I've sent out. So anybody fancies having a look in on Saturday, I've actually done it as an online event as well, so you can join. And I've said it rather than people. What I've said to people that aren't coming in person that are going to be joining me online. I think I'm up to about 30 people that are joining me online to press. But I've said, rather than send me a birthday card or birthday wishes through Facebook, just come and say hello during the day. It's this Facebook chat room where you can have multiple people in. So I'm going to leave that running. I'm going to set up my phone on a tripod, and just film the day as it goes on, and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the food, because I've just created. It's still in the fridge there. I'm not going to bring it out, but I've got a watermelon about the yay big, and it's got buffalo grass vodka, 37.5% vodka from the Ukraine. So we're going to have vodka watermelon because the forecast is good. So. Good day.
It always is, isn't it, when we're in a fucking country?
Oh, yeah. So, plenty of music, plenty of food, and a good old laugh.
I bet fucking Madeleine McCann's fucking really pleased that her parents never took her on. Fucking I'm stopping here mother in Portugal. Imagine if they found her out, how old would she be? She'd be about, we're 2006.
Is she in her teens or something? 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. She probably said, listen, brother, you were shit. And I never liked your nose when you took it off Michael Jackson. So, I'm going to stop here in Portugal where it's warm, warm, warm. This is why I've got this explosion behind me. I'm trying to warm myself. Earlier on, I fell asleep. I fell asleep about 1 o'clock and didn't get woke up till about 1:30. Well, I got woke up a couple of times, like dog licking my face, but then I didn't wake up till about 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know where I was going with that. I was fucking freezing. Absolutely fucking. I had to put heating on in fucking June.
That's mad. That's complete madness, is that? Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier on, I could only go out 5-10 minutes at a time because it was that warm. I've not seen it this warm at this time of the year since I've been here. It's nearly 4 years now. Yeah, Glenn Michael, I'll save you some vodka. You want to try it? It's really weird actually because when I picked the bottle up in the store, average bottle about €8 or €9, and it's green. And obviously, I read the label. It said Buffalo Grass vodka. And it wasn't until I brought it back here. There's actually a stick of grass inside. Not the right kind of grass, but it's got a stick of grass inside of it. And I've had 1 or 2 glasses of it. It's quite tasty, really. I'm looking forward to the watermelon on Saturday, in particular with the weather that's there. Uni Black Sister said, Watson's farts will wake you up.
It's fucking weird. I keep hearing this weird sound and I can't work out whether it's my phone or my laptop. It keeps going like...
Right, okay. Is that?
I put my phone here. If I hear it again, it's my laptop.
Right.
If you hear it that side, it's me. It's my phone. Uni Black Sister says, Watson farts will wake you up. Yes, they will. Dean Yates says...
Webby.
Yeah, evening Webby, how you doing here, me old mucker? This is his last day off, I think. So he's spending it doing some paperwork. Going through some paperwork instead of coming on here with his buddies.
Oh, come on. Bandit Buster's there. Good evening, Bandit Buster. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, I do know about vodka. Yeah, it's fucking 90% Polish vodka and it's fucking gorgeous.
Lethal stuff, huh?
Deadly. Absolutely. And if you think fucking raspberry vodka is deadly to me, which it fucking is, that were much worse. But that was 30 years ago when my liver could take it. And, well, that's when I still had a liver. I wanted to, first of all, what did you make about these stabbings in Reading?
Well, I actually saw the video. I know that the police were telling people not to post the videos on social media, and it's the only video that I've seen. I haven't really seen much of any sort of reporting afterwards. I believe the guy's been arrested and charged, but from the videos that I saw, I automatically ruled out a false flag because of the scene, because there were panic. To me, it was a genuine panic. You know, the blood everywhere. You could see people giving CPR, properly giving CPR. You know, and to me it seemed real, but that's all I've seen really was that video that was taken in the park at the time. You know, obviously there were people panicking and asking for help at the 4 people that had been stabbed, but yeah, there were people all around.
I've not really looked into that. If there's anybody in chat room who's looked at that, if you want to, you know, let us know. And we might pop you on because I've had one of them weeks. I'm not going to share too much with you, but all I'm going to do is I'm going to just say I've had one of them weeks where tonight's show weren't going to happen because I just did not feel right. I've been through a horrendous week, which is probably half of my own making as well. I'm not trying to you know, to discount anything, but I've just been through this shit week, so that's why we've got no guest booked, because all last week I was just concentrating on this fucking one thing. It's a personal thing, but please don't worry. Me and Danielle are still we're still great. So it's personal and it's family, but it's not my immediate family.
Public detective. Public detectives coming there. Good evening, public detective. The public detective says the 3 gays who were stabbed.
3 games.
Could you enlighten us more on that? Because, Sallyman's saying total BS, the acting was awful, street theatre, and Duper's delight. So, yeah, I need to know more about that because, like I say, I mean, that's only my view of it, saying, man. I saw the video and from how they were doing CPR, that's how I deduced that it was real to me, that the CPR that they was given, because if it wasn't for me, is that there's going to be a hell of a lot of bruised ribs going on there because the pressure that they were giving for me was real. You could see the body sink and everything when we was doing the CPR. So if anybody's seen that video and anybody has any more information on that, please, public detective, let us know. There we go. The Reading stabbings were three gay blokes who died and were attacked. So it was a homophobic attack.
Was it a homophobic attack?
Well, this is it. You see.
They just happened to be in the same group, and I understand. The media will jump on that. It would be so much better for the media if they were black homosexual.
Yeah. That's what they feed off, isn't it?
It would have been. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what they feed off. But I've been looking at. I've been looking at this Black Lives Matter thing, right? And
can I just say something on that? Can I just say something?
Go.
Carry on. There is a better BLM. Yeah, there is a much better BLM, which is Bees Lives Matter. Forget about Black Lives Matter. Bees Lives Matter, because we have no more bees. The planet's fucked. Carry on.
Bees Lives Matter. I agree with it. And every time I see a bee and it's like on the floor or in any distress, I get a little bit of Coke or something like that, some sugar in water, and I always help bees out. I'm a friend to the bees. I'm a friend to the bees. What? It's the media, really. I mean, for a start, what I want to know is, it must have been a year before, or even 6 or 8 months before we ended up in lockdown. But we had this company that started advertising on TV. And what you did is you were doing your bike cycling routine, whenever you did your spin class, or you've got your bike at home and you do that, and you put your iPad into the place, and there's somebody there going, no, fucking move, keep fucking pedaling on, I'm going to kick your fucking head in your fucking slag. No, not quite like that, but give me encouragement. Come on, you can do it, guys. Oh, nice. And it gives you that feeling of, because they'll mention people's names, and if there's 200, there's 200 people, you're doing it, you're getting through it, Well, what? At that time, I thought to myself, who's going to pay 38 quid a month for a bike, an indoor bicycle, a pedal?
Oh, Peloton. Is it called Peloton?
Peloton. Right.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
What did they know that were coming? Because now they've gone into other things like classes at home and fitness classes and stuff like that. What did they know? Did they know something was coming down the line? And just so while we're on this, I'll let you in on that answer to that. But I also wanted to mention, I think this is probably the most pathetic name for a company that I have ever fucking heard in my life, and it's like, oh please, and it's that pet insurance, and it's called, ready? Chosen by Many.
What?
Oh, sorry, bought by Many. Sorry.
Thank you, Danielle.
Bought by Many. Bought by Many. I mean, what the fuck does that mean? It doesn't tell you what it is. It doesn't tell you, oh, it's just bought by Many. Oh, everyone's buying that. I must fucking buy it because I'm an idiot like everyone else.
Well, that's it. It's the use. It's the use of words again, isn't it? It's how people.
But it's been simplified down to what you have to do is say, this is bought by many people, so you should buy it.
Exactly.
It's so fucking dumbed down they're using what the thing. It's a new thing, in it. The fear of missing out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the new one, isn't it? It's the fear of missing out. You feel like you're missing out. This is why OneCoin. When we went, when we were in our early days, you remember OneCoin, don't you?
Yeah.
Andy bought quite a lot. I think Andy put a lot of money into it. Fortunately, I didn't put very much. In fact, I didn't put no into it. I was gifted a package, and that was it. So I never ever actually put any money into it.
Right.
But then it turned out it's a scam. It ends up being a scam. The woman who started it, disappears in 2017. Nobody's seen her since. With something like $15 billion. So, but at the time when we used to have a guy on called John Hamer, and John Hamer he'd written a couple of books. He'd written what is it? Some of history, the falsification of history, and he'd written a book on Titanic and all this, and then he'd gone really heavily into this OneCoin thing. And he kept coming on show and getting people to advising people to invest. And I kept just thinking to myself, I did get that fear of missing out. You know, what happens in 2 years, 3 years time when I'm still sat here and everyone who I know is a millionaire because of this. I did get that. But I didn't get that to the point of, right, I'm going to go out and fucking give everything, sell everything I've got and then put all my money into that. Because I felt there was something not right about it. And it turns out it were a scam all along. It's even still making fucking money. People are still signing up to it, even though she disappeared and I think it's a brother that's running it now, but he's been arrested. I think he's been arrested in his own running somewhere. She's from Bulgaria, I think they are.
Right.
The woman who did it. So, you know, you get. There are these. There is this fear of missing out. I used that as an example. I did have a fear of missing out. Only a slight fear. Only like, well, think about it. What about when they're all and I'm not? But that's as far as it went. So
I remember going to a meet in Wigan, and I don't know if people must have heard of the guy Peter of England.
Yeah.
The Re Bank. And I was married at the time, and my wife was the Re Bank.
You said Re.
Okay.
Re.
I can't say that for laughing.
I'm out of way. It turned out so well, so now I've had to re-weigh it.
But my former wife, she jumped right on board, and you know, throughout the whole of it, I was just sat there, and it's going back to what you were saying before about the behavioural guys. The words that was coming out of his mouth didn't match his body language. Do you understand what I mean? That's what the alarm bells rang to me. I didn't sign up for the checks or anything else like that, you know, and plus the fact, I think it was something like £15 for like 5 checks, you know, and you had to pay for these checks before everything else, and you know, you got your certificate and you got your letter that you were supposed to, or your little scripts that you were supposed to say at the banks and everything like that. And I didn't go for that at all, and that was purely on the basis of I didn't believe what he was saying. You know, the words are coming out of his mouth, but his body was telling me, Owen, go the opposite direction. And I did that. And I do believe there is another group that have started up again that are taking responsibility for what Peter of England's done, and they've opened up a trust on the base of it. Yeah, I mean, Bandit Busters just put in the chat room there, the Bank of Dave was a good concept, or was it just TV? Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, I mean, it's along the same lines, really. But with anything like that, for me, Jason, it's, you know, I still feel that the UK has never got out of a recession. So everybody's short of money. And the last thing, do you really want to hand over your last 15 quid when that 15 quid could probably stretch you for a meal, for meals for a good week or so if you're on your own or in a couple, then giving it to somebody
just explain to people who've not heard about what was Peter of England's and what was his position behind that? I mean, what was the whole concept of it? For people that perhaps weren't around then.
Yeah, I've just got to answer to Webby. I believe you, Webby, in the Bills of Exchange because I sat and listened to you. I talked to you man to man. Peter of England wouldn't talk to me when I asked him questions. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's about if you can talk to somebody eye to eye and talk about a subject and get the correct or get the information back. Obviously, you're going to sort that information out. Peter of England wouldn't even give me 2 minutes. You did. So I mean, that was it with it, really. I mean, I don't know. Call it an instinct thing with me. If I don't believe what the person is saying to me, just purely on the body language or lack of eye contact, or the person not wanting to talk to me, it's just that's a red flag to me. And that isn't Watson. That's actually Jason.
I've ripped my trousers, mate. I'm leaning forward to scratch myself. And you don't get that on BBC, do you? If you do, it's in bloopers fucking reels and that.
And here's Nicholas Winchell with the trots. Yeah. I like that. So
fucking bloomers. Go on.
Public detective saying he's doing it again, another scam. Can you enlighten us that again? I want to have a look at that because I want to dig deeper. Yeah, whilst most are living in France, probably off the profits he made from the people he got the money from the bank. I'm not going to say we. But yeah, he's probably living in France off the back of that. And that was the thing with me during that time as well, is that he would do his short videos from various locations in the sunshine and ask people for money. I need money to go here, I need money to go to there, Yeah, there you go. Anyone can act as a bank stroke creditor. You can write your own promissory notes and checks, but it's fraud if you've not got the means to pay upon demand. Right, Rebby. See, I'm even doing it now. Rebby. Sorry, mate.
Rebby. Get back to your paperwork anyway, Webby. listening to us and sticking it in.
Hope it goes well for you, Webby, when you get back to work, mate.
I just wanted to put this up on screen because it's been like this for a bit, and I don't know if it's trying to send me a message. Hang on. Let me overlay. Let me add an overlay. What did I put it under? What did I put it under? Fucking hell. What did I put it under? I can't even remember. I'll find it. I put it. It's. I can't remember where it went. I know I fucking downloaded the bastard. This is trouble with shit, innit? If he don't want you to fucking download it, it won't let you.
Well, I was going to say earlier on when the show started earlier, you were quite your voice was like kind of robotic, and it was a bit delayed and everything else. And I've watched a lot of live videos today, and it seems to be, I don't know, maybe there's something going down with the internet. I don't know, but any live videos that I've seen today, and in particular when people have said keywords, is that the transmission has gone a bit funny, and you're not able to hear what the person's saying. I don't know, maybe it's me just bringing up a conspiracy theory, but it just seems that when anybody's now voicing their opinion online, whichever platform it may be, in particular Fedbook, is that when they come to a crucial word, is that it kind of stops and stutters. They look like Max Headroom or what have you. So that's a bit strange what's going on there. Rumple Foreskin, what's that? Hands up who wants Black Lives Reprisal? I don't know. Who wants that? Do you want that, do you? I don't know.
Well, I don't. Wants what?
Who wants, hands up, who wants Black Lives Reprisal? Why would you want that? Come on, enlighten us. Come on then, enlighten us, because I'd like to know.
What, right? Black White Reprisal.
Black
I
lives.
don't get that.
I don't either. I like that. I mean, you know, I don't know. Ask Mr. Soros. He may be able to tell you. He'll have his hands up, won't he? Sean, Hannah, good evening, Sean. Fraud is an English word, not a legal term. And so, like all other English words, carry on, no authority whatsoever in contracts.
There you go. This is what I'm going to show you. Can you see that?
I can see, yeah, the live. It was, there you go, 66. Ooh, scary. 3 minutes in.
I couldn't see that because the bit where it is obviously got things on the top of it. Yeah, but listen, if we changed Black Lives Matter to Black Wives Matter, I mean, that would be then. Think about that. That would then be a whole racial connotation, wouldn't it? Because it would be suggesting that domestic violence is mostly committed by black men.
Exactly, but once again, it's play on words. I mean, in particular, I was saying about Rose Green, which is on Facebook at the minute, posting loads of stuff. She goes into the English language, and I'm quite, you know, because of the energy that she has and the way she puts across her videos, you know, it's something that appeals to me. But somebody that's been on Facebook and on YouTube for a while now, for a good few years, is Andy Devine. Now, Andy, you know, he goes into the English language and how it's been changed. And, you know, there's 1 or 2 videos that he's done where he's speaking to people, and he uses I think it's syntax grammar. He uses that in a lot of his calls, and it's amazing when you hear whether it's Andy or somebody on one of his broadcasts ring up a local council or a local governing body, and they speak in this language. I mean, the last one that I listened into is that the person actually put the phone down on this guy because obviously their head was battered. You know, this guy was clearly speaking the truth and speaking in the correct way, and he was actually pointing it out to this member of staff. Now, whether it went completely over the top of the head of the member of staff that he was speaking to, but you know, it was more than entertaining. It was quite enlightening as well to hear. And Andy has these. He puts these calls on his Facebook Live and also his YouTube video channel. He puts them on quite regularly. So, you know, once again, have a look at those, because it's an education and a half to say that, you know, the way that we have been told about the English language, the way that we've been taught it in our schools. We all know, you know, about the history, how history has been hidden away from us, but it's also the English language as well. So, you know, there are 2 people for me that will put it. I'm not going to say plain English because it's not plain English. And you know, this language has been made up of a multitude of languages. So there are another two people to really, you know, set your eyes on, because you know as they say, you know, the truth will set you free, and it's amazing once you start feeding your head with this new knowledge. Well, it's not really new knowledge; it's always been there. But you know, once you realise that all these things have been placed there for a purpose, and once you start to understand the right ways about it, can help. I've not even started. Dog Latin, nice one, dude. But you know, it's for me. You've got to unlearn what you've had, and thank you. Yeah, once you get into this sort of stuff, once you start listening to these guys, it's amazing. You know, especially when you hear them do a live call to somebody and they're challenging, whether it be a law or whatever it is. It's amazing to hear these people stutter and stammer because they're completely caught out. You know, and long may it continue. Good evening, Escapers Media.
Well, they just shut you down anyway. I mean, if you try to use, I don't know Andy Devine. Okay, I think he's probably been on show and that we've interviewed him. But I don't. It would have been one of them interviews where it would have been an Andy interview, or it would have, you know, we used to do that, it'd be because me and Andy had such diverse interests. If it were a certain guest, it'd be an Andy interview, and I'd pretty much keep my mouth shut, if you can believe that. And opposite way round as well. So I don't really know much about Andy Devine, but what I do know about him is that whenever he's mentioned, there are people that will come out of the woodwork and will attack him.
It very, very much like that. I mean, if you just recently, I mean, there's been a lot of reposting of the Hampstead children?
The
Hampstead children. I mean, I know for a fact that anytime he mentions that event, is that he is, he's bombarded. He's bombarded with stuff. I can see that.
Well, we've seen it all. We've seen it all. We've seen it from both ends, really, haven't we? I mean, I've had a bit of stick for certain people I've had on the show, and and my response usually is bollocks. It's my show, and I'll fucking have what I want. It's our show, obviously now, Owen. Seeing as it looks like you're a permanent fixture, so it's our show now. But I always, it's my show. If you want to do a show yourself and you don't like it, then don't like. And most of the thing that really gets to me is that they're offering very little in the chat room apart from reviews, but they remain for the entire 2-hour duration. And there's plenty of room about.
That's it.
We had
Milwana.
Who?
Milwana's just put in the chat room there. Oh, in YouTube, the Justinian Deception. If you want to see it, bro, I will do. I'll just say a quick hello to Marco Serengeti. He's just been putting the chickens to bed. And can I order some courgettes, some onions, some garlic for Saturday? I know Marco Serengeti. I know Marco Serengeti's over here in Portugal. I know
some weed and some big bombs and whatever this is. I like that.
In particular, Marco, if you are going fishing between now and Saturday, if you can catch any large bass, bring them along and I can stick them in the smoker.
I'd give this away as a once I'd read it, I'd give this away as a.
We send it to me first, and I'll send it on.
It's written in the lovely thing on, in front to Jason at Raconteurs News.
Well, even better though. What more of a prize? This book was actually used on Raconteurs News. Why not?
A little book with unbelievably big in news, I think. A little book, with unbelievably big news topic. Oh, I've got that. But I'll send it to you once. Once you send me something, because it has to be an exchange of presents.
No problem. I shall do that. Just going back to
send me a lock of your hair.
No. Not happening. It is actually, I probably will do because it is falling out. Just Webby's just put in there. And Andy Devine was on the John Winnower interview, Jace. So you must have interviewed John Winnower.
That's probably right, but I just can't remember it. I'm just such a John Winnower. I can't even remember him. There's so many people that we've interviewed over times, and when you the only ones I really remember are the ones that are really memorable, like Vinny Eastwood and stuff like that, because he's just laughing at child abuse and stuff. If you can't laugh at child abuse, what can you laugh at? This is the new father, by the way. Also, it just you just sometimes just forget, and I know there's hundreds that I've forgotten about. The one I'd really like to get back on is John Irwin, but he seems to have disappeared completely since he came on for a fake with me. But that was a long time ago again. You think you should see if you can get the Casanova show, chaps? I don't know who that is, but we'll certainly. Do you know who that is?
I've actually signed up, so I will try and do that. I'll have a look on his YouTube page later on and see if we can get him on, because once again, it's another person that's gaining momentum. And he has actually stated on his YouTube channel, I'll be backed up with this, that he was saying that, it would be nice. He's not after the money side of it. He just wants people to, to listen to what he's saying. He's not going to decline any sort of donation. So I quite like the opportunity of trying to get him on there. Thank you, Marco. Rumpel Foreskin says, I'm going to love you all, Owen and Jason. Cheers, Rumpel. See you later.
What was that? Rumpel?
Rumpel said, I think he's going. So, he obviously,
we were moaning about being banned, but I understood that Rumpel Foreskin and Apple Charlotte, he keeps moaning about who's banning him, apparently. I thought that they were friends. So, I don't know.
There we go. That's one from Webby. The realisation on Jace's face when he realised who Paul Cotty was on the Round Table show. Laugh out loud.
Actually, I'd thought about it before, so the look on my face was nothing compared to the fucking utter disaster when you tried to get Mark Winders on.
Right. Well, once again, Webby, I apologise. We were
Did you
stuck miles away.
I watched that actually. I watched it this afternoon, Webby, and it was really unfortunate that you didn't get him on and get more stuff out of him. Where's he living? Is he living in a fucking cave in Afghanistan? Because if he can't get any internet at all, I mean, what is he doing? Is he living at what's his name? Tony Hurst's house? Nobody else will know who Tony Hurst is apart from me and Webby. Webby probably doesn't know who he is. But no, it was just unfortunate that you couldn't get a little bit more out of him than you did, and that it just seemed to it just went. So Windows on 2G. It probably is. He's probably as scared as the rest of us. Mm-hmm. Can you unblock Stiltskin, please, Jason? Right. Okay. You carry on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through that. Webby was just going, and I think this is going back to the John Winoa. He was the New Zealander who claimed who was trying to claim corporate status as king. That is going on there. But I just want to go on something about that. New Zealand has given me a little heads up, because I was watching a documentary last night about Easter Island and about the statues on Easter Island and how, because we only see about that much of the statues, but actually they're about 7 meters tall. They're actually underground. It shows a photograph and it shows the bottom half of them. And the interesting thing about him, this is all the reason why I bring it up, is that he mentions that the people that put the statues there on Easter Island were the Moai people. Now, from the stuff I've been looking at via Andy Devine and John Winoa, is that the Moai, and I may be correct, so somebody please correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the Moai were the original indigenous people of New Zealand. And it wasn't until the time of Cook and Victoria, when Queen Victoria went over there, is that the Maori came to be at that particular time. And it's alleged that the name was changed from Moai to Maori. And I just find, because I made the connection while I was watching a thing on Easter Island last night, because the Moai, that was the name that was used. And obviously alarm bells started ringing, because I've heard about the New Zealand history and the history of the, let's call it this, the indigenous people of New Zealand. And it stands to reason, really, because if you look back in New Zealand's history, they were the real, well before the Portuguese. I'm sorry if I'm ever in Portugal that will say that. The Moai of Easter Island, Webby. Yeah, so the Moai was originally, from what I can gather, were the New Zealanders, because they were the ones that first went out on the ships and sailed around the globe. So it would stand to reason that the connection is there. I could be wrong, but it's just from what I was watching last night. I'm going to go back to that, because I just with having that connection last night makes me want to look at it even further.
I'm trying to work out how I can ban this fucking person. And because I don't ban anybody, I don't know how to unban them. So if there's anyone in chat room who can unban Stiltskin or any, just fucking chat room problems, honestly. Yeah, Stiltskin. I'm trying to get you undone, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it at this moment in time because I'm fucking trying to do a show. I'm trying to read this, and then I'm trying to find out how because I can't do it on StreamYard. I have to do it on YouTube.
Yeah,
which I have to open up YouTube.
So I've got that there. The Maori art. This is from. I can't even pronounce that. DOL. The Maori from Tahiti. They were there before the white man. I mean, yeah, this is going back to it, but you know, it's like I was saying, this is why I want to go back and have a look more. So this is why I'm saying, don't take every word that I say. It's just what I've seen, what I've observed, and as far as I'm aware, is that the Moai, as in the Moai of Easter Island, is the same as the original Moai that were in New Zealand. So, like I say, I'm gonna have a look at that probably tomorrow or later on this evening, because, like I say, it's a subject that's really got me. And I want to look into that because, in particular, you know, that statement was made there as well. Is that the Moai they were there, you know, they were there well before the white man, which is, you know, so we're on the same lines there. But I'm going to have a look at that a little bit later on because I find that very interesting. The stories are well documented from Tahiti and New Zealand. Thank you very much. That's even more information for me. Thank you. What was it called? As I watched 1, 2, sounds the same. Can't remember the name. I'll find out for you, Dean, and I'll try and post it in the comments later on.
Webby, yeah. What have you seen the latest Greg Hallett report stuff?
So is that the stuff on? Is that the Digital Warriors one, Webby? Yeah, the Digital Warriors stuff. They've been putting little bits on. They've been traveling around everywhere else because I remember watching the video last night and they was talking. They were in Diss in Norfolk, and they were going on the relationship between the lake that was there. There was a monument that was there that had particular dates on that I believe Greg Hallett referred to as well. And they were saying that the same, I can't remember it actually, but they were saying the coordinates of this particular lake had relation to, and it's just gone. But yeah, I think it goes back to the Bible anyway, you know. But yeah, Greg Hallett also claiming to be Jesus as well as the King of England seems mad to me. And this is the reason why I keep watching these things, is because, you know, this Greg Hallett thing has been going on, as far as I'm aware, for at least 8 years, you know, and obviously with this opportune time, I will say, with a little disclaimer, is that, you know, you're getting people that are coming out there and staking their claim, as it were. There were words used in the documentary last night, Webby, as well, you know, of royalty acquiescing, you know. So, you know, when they started using words like that, that's, you know, it does spark the interest, but yeah. That's it. Yeah, he seemingly claims to be Jesus. Also, he states he's in the Bible prophecy. But yeah, I've been speaking to another person that's from the UK that's moved over here that personally knows Greg Hallett. And when I say Greg Hallett, I'm not talking about the Joseph Gregory Hallett on the program, but she knows Greg Hallett, and she's told me 1 or 2 things about, you know, the guy that's on in the media spotlight at the moment. But until I get more information from this person, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to do like I did with the Madeline McCann thing. But there you go. But yeah, once I find out more information on that, I will definitely come back to you on that one, because once again, it's something that's interesting. It's something that's current as well, you know. So yeah, that was Digital Warriors Productions on Facebook, and they've done a couple of short videos as well on there regarding that as well. Have you managed to do it, Jason?
No, I've not gone to sleep. I'm listening to you. I'm just doing some stuff.
No, I said, are you all right?
Oh, I'm all, yeah. My dog's having a row. I think my wife's just about to come upstairs and to bring me a drink or pour me one.
Yay. Mushroom management.
Matthew
Kelly. Good evening, Matthew. Owen, you're right with your New Zealand info. I am New Zealanders. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you very much indeed for that. I'm really interested in it because I've got a bit of a thing for New Zealand. It's one of my places to visit purely because of the landscape and obviously the indigenous people there. Same with Australia as well with the Aborigines. I want to go over to Uluru, good old Ayers Rock, and I really want to go out into the outback with the elders as well and see what they can do, because I've read loads and loads of stories about the ancient Aboriginals and how they're able to teleport. I've read quite a few things on that, and that completely blows my mind when they're talking about, there was one particular guy that was talking to somebody, but he was I think he was either side of the States or something like that, and he said while I was having these conversations with this guy, I said, well, just turn around, I'll be there in a minute. And this guy apparently turned around and this guy was there. So it kind of freaks me out when you see stuff like this. But I quite believe, Dean, I can quite believe stuff like that it does happen. I truly believe that we're all built with some sort of superpower, some sort of ability that has been dumbed down over, whether it's been taken out of our genes or whatever else. But I think, I definitely think that, we've been given some sort of gift that has been taken away from us.
Yeah, but and when we were talking earlier on, you were talking about language. I mean, when you've just mentioned Aboriginal people, I mean, that's how our language has been bastardized. I mean, they're the original people.
Exactly, the indigenous people, the original.
If somebody's absent, they're not there. Or if they're abnormal, they're not normal. If they're something, it's not an Aboriginal. It's just a way of saying, well, actually, we were here first, and you're fucking, you're not really original, but you're the ones that were here. That's just another way they've bastardized our language.
That's it, isn't it? It's been messed up and changed around. Casting spells when we speak. I mean, I've actually stopped using, and I'll say it, but I've stopped actually writing on things. Good morning to people, because obviously I'm not mourning anybody's death. So it's like play on words, isn't it? So I've stopped using words like that. I've stopped using anything that I believe is derogatory in the English language that we've been taught. I do my damned hardest not to use it, because I don't want to be derogatory to anybody. I love everybody. Apart from the bastards that are causing all the shit in the world now, obviously, Jason. But I'll forgive him, but I won't forget.
I won't forgive him. Fuck him. I won't forgive him. I won't forgive him. He fucking chopped my leg off and fucking did all sorts to me.
Now listen.
Go on.
I don't have the ability as you do just to get hold of a PP jug and to pee in front of the camera. I've got to go, so I'm going to be 2 minutes.
Okay. That's not a problem at all. Owen Lloyd Martin, there we go. Owen, nothing at all. He's got. I'm just going to go and get my drink. Bear with me. I'm just behind my green screen. It's come up in my lift. It's what they call a dumb waiter, or I'm just waiting for my lazy Susan to be installed. Don't you go in there, dickhead. Oh. I'm back. That's somewhere. Well, I'm back. It took a few minutes, about half a minute, but it certainly wasn't as long as Taylor taking a shit. What an amateur show, Leeds. Yeah, I know. I love it. I love an amateur show. An amateur show's best. You know what the fuck you want. You can talk about what you want. You can do what you want. Mushroom Management, good to see you. Super Leeds, Uni Black Sister, Dolov FM, Steep Date. That sounds all right. That Steep Date. Matt Carey, of course, we know very well, and also Donna is Mrs. It's just looking through some of these. Like I said, we haven't got a guest. I had a pretty bad week last night, and last night I had a bad week last week, personally. But But we're definitely doing 2 shows this week. We've got one so far. We were hoping we were going to get Webby on week being his last week. It's been him just about ready to go back to work, and I thought he might not have time. But unfortunately, we seem to have come second to paperwork. I don't know what this paperwork all these people do. I remember looking at oh God, what's his name? Toby Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Toby Lee, and I remember I'm going through Facebook one night, and suddenly I see Toby Lee's. I was friends with him. I'm not friends with him. I just deleted him because I just thought all he ever does, because he's got a bit of a following, is he puts a picture of fucking Sunday dinner up and says, "This is what you can get at fucking, I don't know, at the old whistle and
Whistling flute.
The old whistle and butt plug."
Yeah. Good evening, Donna.
Good evening, Donna. Yeah, that's who I was referring to. Husband and wife that listen to us. Husband and wife that listen to us. Yeah. And what he'd done is got this picture, this perfect picture of paperwork, and his pens all lined out. And I think it was quite late at night, and he said, and it was like another night of doing all the paperwork. And I thought he was saying, "You're not doing fucking paperwork. I wouldn't be doing paperwork for someone else. I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be doing paperwork for anyone else." And it's just, you know, it's just virtue signaling. You know, I'm doing all this stuff to help other people, and you know, it just takes. If you're going to help someone, just fucking help them. You don't have to be all over Facebook. Bandit Buster said an Aboriginal guy named Bruce Shillingworth might make a good guest if you can get hold of him, Jace. Bruce Shillingworth.
I'll have to write that one down.
It's not. It's Bruce Shillingworth. It's not. Do you remember him? Hang on. I've got to write this down, and I can't write it.
I've got a question for the chat room here. Anybody, apart from anybody that's from Portugal that's on. Just recently, in fact, I posted it on Facebook, so anybody that's got my Facebook page, don't even have a look at it. Let's get this sorted. I put on there is a six houses village for sale here in Portugal.
I had a look.
Did you have a look? So don't use anything, but let's see if anybody can guess how much that village. It comes with, I think it's 15 hectares of land as well, and you've got your own water supply and everything else. Let's see if anybody can get anywhere close in the chat room, because there are properties like that. There are villages that are for sale here. That's amazing. I would love to win the lottery.
So you're talking about this, but you're not going to show any pictures. Are you going to show?
I'm not.
Right.
I'll see if I can find one. I'll see if I can find one, and I'll pop it on. In fact, I know I can find one.
Just describe it. It's got 6 houses.
Six houses.
It's got a well, hasn't it?
A water well. You've got your own water mine, which is even better.
Right.
If I can share the screen, I'll try and pop it on, Jason. I'll have a look here. Well, it's staying here actually. I'll just read it. Uninhabited village with ruins, 4 wells, water mine, stream, and 12.7 hectares of land. I'm not going to put it up on screen yet until I've got a guess of a price, if anybody's there.
Same man's put 125k.
Dean Yates has put 100g. Marco's put 100. Have you not seen it then, Marco? It says 75,000. 1 million mushroom management. Oh, no, it's Portugal mushroom management. I'll tell you what, I'll put it up on screen, Jason, if I can.
Go on, then.
Let's see if I can do it here.
Whether I decide I'm going to let you.
Go on, let me.
We'll see when it comes up.
Okay, application windows.
Yeah, so anyway, Donna Caddy is, like I said, we've got Matt Caddy and Donna Caddy, husband and wife, who listen to the show, and they also tell us that they've had baby Oscar in January.
Yay!
And Donna from Warrington, so congratulations to Donna and Matt Caddy, your baby Oscar. I hope you're not really vaccinated. but don't blame me. I'm not a doctor.
Right, let me just try and go on this
congratulations to you, really, from bottom of our hearts here. Here at Raconteurs News, it's at least it's a kid who's going to have some intelligent parents, especially when they listen to we.
Right, why can't I share screen again, Jason?
Paula Callick says she knows, but she's not saying.
Who said that?
Paula.
Oh, yes, Paula Wood, because we've looked at it together.
No, not Paula Wood, Paula Callick.
Yes, I say we've looked at it together.
Right, okay.
Right. Let's have a look there. Let's see.
Oh, here we go.
That's the one there. You got it there. Let me just try and show you some pictures. Can you still see the pictures changing?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they're in ruins, but if you can imagine setting up a community there, then you've got the water wells and everything else, loads of olive trees, loads of fruit trees and what have you. Obviously, there's loads of work to be done, the water source there, but you're getting, this ruins, and I believe there's six properties on there, the olive trees there in the background. But look at the sky, guys, 10 months of the year, you've got skies like that when you've not got the downpours. But you're looking at properties like this, and I was actually talking to the owner of said website, and I said I want to go and have a look, just for the sake of having a look. Look, your own little natural pool there. But there's properties like that all over the place in Portugal. So if you want to escape the good old island of the UK and live a self-sufficient off-grid life, there you go. That's it, Jason. You can take that off there. I'll stop sharing the screen. There you go. But,
so how much is that going for?
196,000. So
196,000 euros.
196,000 euros. And to me, that is a bargain. If you imagine you've got a community or a cooperative living in a place like that, everybody working together and tending the land and growing your own veg, go solar, you've got your own water mine and everything.
You do know, don't you, Owen, that this time next year we'll be millionaires. So we'll be we'll be setting up fucking Raccoon Town.
I definitely, I agree, Paula. It is definitely negotiable. It should be negotiable because I know it's obviously in the state that it's in, but there are plenty of other properties. I've looked at properties because obviously I'm still house hunting.
But what's the planning situation like in Portugal? Because I know in Spain it can be a bit of a bummer. You think you've got planning permission for something, and then suddenly someone comes along and says, "No, you can fuck off. You're not living there."
Well,
and you've got half an hour sat there on Costa del Sol with a beautiful view, but it's just got no fucking in it.
Good old Arachella farm that I was at, before, I was peacefully evicted, not. We was told. I mean, the plan was actually on the land there. We were going to build a straw bale house on the land and rent the whole of the main house out, and we were told that we would have no problems with that because obviously it's on our land. Obviously, you have to go through the types of buildings and all the rest of it, and we found out that we could have had an eco build on there. And what's at the moment in Portugal still going on now is that there are a lot of people now going into the hemp growing industry. I've got 1 or 2 friends that are involved with the hempcretes, and that's what they're looking at actually doing over here. Is, if you want to build an eco build, I mean, even properties now or land that's for sale is actually being, planning permission granted for eco builds. So like straw bale houses, which I don't really recommend because of obviously the fire season, which we're in the middle of now. And thankfully, I can say since the beginning of May, we've only had 2 fires. One major fire down in the Algarve, and then another one a little bit further north. But up to press now, there hasn't been any large fires as of yet, which is really good news for us because I don't think with everything else going on, everybody else being on. Well, not really. We're not. It's week 6 now here in Portugal of us not being in lockdown. So things are getting back to.
That thing, that piece of land. I mean, that's like a village with 6 plots, shall we say? Because they're not houses, are they?
Yeah, 6 plots.
Got 6 plots that have already got permission to. You probably could easily get permission to build on.
Yeah, easily, because you've got what 12.7 hectares.
And you've got all that water, so you could have like a natural water source, so it could be completely off grid.
And you've got a water mine there as well. There's a water mine which is that can go on for miles underground. It's amazing.
We could buy that. You see, we could buy that and call it Raconteur Town, right? And then I'll be mayor, obviously.
Yeah.
You could be chief of police.
No.
No, because I'm proper police. You're just keeping everyone else out.
Okay.
That's all. Anybody who's there, we'll have to have a church as well, which means we're going to have to worship something. So we'll find some inanimate object, and we'll worship it, and we'll call it a god. Because if I get the, let's just say I get, I don't know. Let's just say I get this mouse. I've got this mouse here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I decide that this mouse is a god, I mean, there's nobody else to tell me that it isn't, because they don't know.
You could also have, I mentioned this before. You could also have the Church of Unity. The Church of Unity. I like that one. The Church of Unity.
The Church of Unity.
Nice one.
Same,
man. Nice one. You could actually have your own community bill of rights as well, which is something that I was involved with when I was going to the Bolton Freedom Advocates meetings. Is that we drew up, or rather, the Colonel, as we called him, drew up what was known as a community bill of rights, which I still need to dig out. In fact, I know that I've got the paperwork here, and I want to go through that one night, Jason, if it's all right with you, because I just think it's an amazing thing. Is that going back to the UK, is that if you recognise that all the parish councils are slowly disappearing, and that's because of the reason that the parish councils have more authority over your local council. So if you had your own community bill of rights in your own village, and you wrote to the local council and said we want the bin collection on this day, we want to have a recycling centre, we want all the double yellow lines taken at particular places, the council can't refuse that, because the parish councils had a higher authority than the local councils. So going back to the property that back there in Portugal, you could introduce your own community bill of rights, and you have the say of what goes on in your village without having any repercussions from the council or the government.
What's just out of interest? What's the disabled access like?
That one, crap. You'd have fought before motorised vehicles, Grace.
Well, I can't. No problem. If I'm. Thing is, what's his name? Leeds has declared himself God over the town. So then I'm the mayor. So I'm the one under Super Leeds. Obviously, Super Leeds don't exist apart from what I tell everybody that Super Leeds has said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or in fact, Uni might be doing that because it'd be the Church of Uni. So if you're in the chat room and you're thinking about this, think about you're in Raconteurs Town. Right, we bought this place and we're doing it. What would your part be? I mean, how many people could you fit in a 6-house community? I mean, it doesn't have to be 6 houses, does it? I mean, we could just like put little pods up and tents, and
you could build more. It's your land, isn't it? I mean, Super Leeds has put on there. Super Leeds is already working it out. He said we need 30k per house, and they said no, 25k. So I mean, this is the reason why I mention stuff like that, because the shit that I've been through over the last 3 years could have broke me, but it didn't. Thanks to Raconteurs News, thanks to the beautiful people that are in my life at the moment that have made me want to carry on. And I just think opportunities like that are amazing, and especially if you can share it with like-minded people and just live the life that you want to without having the authorities or the thumb of authority over the top of you. You're living your own life off grid and all the rest of it. I just think it's an amazing country, amazing place to be. I love it. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't, when I come into fortune, is that the last place I would want to visit would be the UK, unfortunately. The only place I would visit would be the South Coast, and with particular good reason why I would go to the South Coast as well.
Uni says, DH says Uni could be the masturbator. Yeah, but don't forget, he's head of the church, so we don't want that to become communion wine, do we? Communion wine's a bit sticky today, Uni, with Taylor, Father Taylor.
Yeah, we're just saying all corporatized now make long jurisdiction. We'd have to sort out a constitutional argument first. Agree. Tell me more, Webby. let's get this sorted. Pack your bags, you're off to Portugal, folks. Why is he doing his paperwork?
Webby's not coming. He just says too much stuff. Puts a fucking dampener on it. Said he would set up a Masonic order.
Oh, come on. No, we do need stonemasons for the building of the house, don't we? We do need stonemasons for the building of the houses, of course.
Steep Date said he'll be the Earl of Pond.
Yeah, that's good. Come on, anybody else?
Yep.
Let's have suggestions coming in.
Uni Black Sister says he's going to be a smiley face.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think Uni's going to get there, is he? I mean, he's not going to. He's not going to know where Portugal is on a map, is it? And that's not against him. It's the American system. It's America's. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's even been out of Washington, to be honest.
Just going back on that, one of the first things I read today, they were supposed to be making a decision over allowing people to travel to Portugal and not have the 14 days quarantine when they return back to the UK. And it's strange that because a couple of months ago in the Portugal news and all over the Portugal press, it was the big thing is that we're going to be welcoming people back from the UK because we've just built an air bridge and all the rest of it. But yet, still today, there's still been no decision on that. They keep, of course you can, Dave.
I don't know. I think there might be a bit of competition for that one.
So there is, there's still that, they're still refusing people. I don't know if it's changed today yet, whether anything's been sorted out, but they're still refusing people to come to Portugal and not self-isolate and isolate for 2 weeks. They're still saying that's going to go ahead, which is a shame, really. I mean, I know in particular, I mentioned Chris Patterson, that's hopefully going to be a guest on the show. He was saying when he came over to Portugal a couple of weeks ago, is that when he was going through the UK airports, is that he got just loads of hassle with his mask wearing and everything else. But when he got to the Portugal side, everything was sounding fine. And he mentioned on his show last night that somebody else that came over to Portugal only a couple of days ago is that at the airport in the UK, when they were on the plane, a lot of the stewardesses were turning around and saying, "Oh no, you're not going to get to Portugal. They're not going to allow you in." And the plane halved. People literally got off the plane and walked away. So they're still spreading the shit. There's nothing. I believe the panic is over. There's been a spike in the Algarve. Now, there are plenty of other places, in particular in central Portugal, that's very, very rural, where the cases are virtually non-existent. There has been a few, but it's virtually non-existent. But apparently the spike that happened in the Algarve was due to an illegal rave, and apparently 60 people had caught it. But this came out 2 days after the rave. So as we know, I mean, how did that happen? That within the 2 days, these 60 people that didn't social distance catch the COVID in 2 days. So once again, it's the narrative that the press are pushing out, and the government or Mr. Gates or whoever it is. Scare tactics once again. Portugal is safe, people. Portugal is safe to travel to. It's
everywhere's safe.
Everywhere. Well, yeah. I'm just talking on the side of the Portugal thing. Is that it's sad that like with the UK, tourism suffering. I mean, who, in particular, if you don't live in like for myself, say if Jason was having, I don't know, a party or a big gathering for everybody for Raconteurs News, and I was invited over. Am I really going to spend potentially, hundreds of pounds on a 4-week holiday or a 6-week holiday because I'd have to spend the first 2 weeks in quarantine? It just seems nonsensical to me that they should do that. The tourism's losing out big time in the UK. because people are going to be tracked and followed of where you're going. It's nonsense, Jason. And I think they're shooting themselves in the foot because, well, not really shooting themselves in the foot because they probably know what they're doing. They're crumbling the economy, I was reading about the places like the Trafford Centre, the group that owns the Trafford Centre. They're facing closure now. All these big shopping centres. So you're not just talking, obviously the owners of the shopping centres are going to lose out, but everywhere else. Yeah, that's it, Paula. Yeah, we were talking about that this morning. Paula and I was talking about this. Leicester is to become the first UK city to do an enforced lockdown for the whole of the city.
Good.
And that's after testing.
If they're enforcing it, right, and they're just saying, right, it's Leicester, it's just Leicester. Who the fuck's going to give a fucking Leicester, really? And
but it's all part of the fear thing again, though, isn't it? Let's say that Leicester's a bad place to go. You can't go to Leicester, and guaranteed, if you're going to do that with Leicester, you're going to get, I don't know, the other cities around in the West Midlands, and it's going to creep further and further north, Nottingham, all the way up, until you're back in the lockdown again. It's nonsense. So Leicester, so what we say, Leicester's in lockdown from tomorrow. Crazy happenings.
It certainly is crazy happenings. Listen, if you're listening to us or watching us in colour on YouTube, there we go, in colour. I'm the white one, and
I'm the off-white one.
He's the not white one. His life matters. My life.
His life matters. His life matters.
My life matters, but I'm not allowed to say that, and you're not allowed to say that either. Because if you say that, then you're against your brothers, and they will all come round to your house and keep your head in.
I mean, I was watching Chris Patterson's show just last night, and this woman was quite clearly a BLM follower and supporter, and she actually had a go at Chris for telling her the truth, basically, about Black Lives Matter and the association with George Soros. And Chris is a black man, and and once again, even through that, I 100% agreed with what Chris is saying. Is that unless people will read into it rather than watching the narrative that's told to them on the newspapers or on the telly, whatever, they're never going to know. They're never going to know that I got into an argument last night on somebody's thread, and the only reason I entered that thread is that the people that were telling the truth were being attacked for it. So I went on and tried to put my opinion forward, and I was berated for it. And I just turned around and said, listen, we're talking about duality, which is like, for me, seeing both sides of the story. Because if you don't know, or you haven't read both sides of the story, how can you possibly comment? You've got to see both sides of the story and make your own mind up, and then you're able to comment on it. But if you're only going to listen to one narrative, you're only going to be one-sided. You're going to walk around like that and not see what else is going on. For me, I don't think you can make an opinion until you've seen both sides of the story.
But for a lot of people, I know you say they're walking around like that and they're looking like that. But this peripheral vision that they're deciding to lose, essentially, it becomes like a comfort blanket around them. Exactly. I mean, it's like people will. You can tell people anything. And when you were talking earlier on, you were talking about that guy that someone from Durham who'd done a poem and it had gone. Yeah, gone everywhere and everything. It gone viral, and we'll get him on. But it just reminded me of a quote I heard today. A quote I heard today, and it's completely non-related. But a quote I heard today was, "Truth is like poetry, and nobody likes poetry." Yeah,
right. I mean, yeah, definitely, and I'll mention it again. That's Chris McGlade, Right to Hate. If you can put that into YouTube, or I don't know if Google's even showing that. I've never really looked on Google, but yeah, if you look on Chris McGlade's Facebook page, his poem is right. For me, my opinion, is right, because he's telling us to forget about, he's saying that we're being pitted against one another, whether it be black, white, gay, straight, Muslim, Jew, Christian, or whatever. And at this particular moment in time, that's exactly what's happening. We're being played against one another. And people need to realise that. People aren't, they're jumping on the bandwagon. I mean, there was stories last night, once again, of, I'm talking about black families here, that the children have gone home to the parents, the millennials or younger than that are going home to the parents, talking about Black Lives Matter, and the parents are telling them how it is. And the kids are calling their own parents racist. Now, and that's what it's causing, Jason. So it's not just splitting friendships, it's splitting families. And that's exactly their agenda, to do that. I mean, they've been doing this for years, splitting the family unit up. This is just another go at it again, to split the family even further. And people need to realize that this narrative that's coming out is bullshit, in my opinion, because I'm a black person. And as I've said many times before, I grew up with watching Love Thy Neighbour and Mind Your Language and programs like that, where there were people of many different races. And it was a comedy program, and it was understood as a comedy program. You no longer find those programs on TV now because it's politically incorrect.
You find somebody our age, right, that does an Indian accent, that will attempt to do an Indian accent. You show me somebody our age or just a bit younger, or a bit older, or whatever, or even a bit younger, but somebody who tries to do an Indian accent without shaking their head to one side, like from side to side, like that.
Everybody has to do it at some time, Jason.
There you go.
Out when it comes out.
Yes, it is. Oh, yeah.
Because I remember the character on Mind Your Language, and this guy was anytime he said, "Oh no," but that is how it was portrayed. And you did see people that was like that. It was a characterization. It wasn't racist. It was a characterization, because after all, they were actors playing a part. So it was a characterization of somebody. It wasn't a derogatory thing. In my eyes, it wasn't a derogatory thing, because that's what I was brought up to love everybody. Only hate them if you don't like something about them, not the colour. I had a dislike for somebody because, they supported Man United. It wasn't because they were white and they supported Man United. It's because they supported Man United, in my opinion, who were shit. But, it's that, isn't it? You hate somebody because you dislike them for a reason, not because of the colour. Cultural Marxism, spot on, Don. Absolutely.
Cultural Marxism, yeah, they're trying to divide us up. And this Black Lives Matter, we know, is a load of fucking bollocks, and it's divisive in its very wording. It doesn't include anybody. It's not inclusive unless you're black, and then your life matters, according to this statement. Whereas we all know that real life matters. Most people don't think that fucking lives in Middle East countries matter. When we're bombing shit out of them. But they will still think that lives. But there are people who will always be racist, and they'll be racist, and there's nothing. Don't matter how many times you shove down the throat, or how many times footballers have Black Lives Matter on the back of the shirt. It's never going to change. Everything's it's there for a reason. It's there for a purpose. I've been watching. But just by the way, I know we've only got about 6 minutes. We'll go over anyway if we need to, or if we want to. And there was something I'd written down. I can't know what it was. Yeah. But anyway, it's divisive, no matter what it is. If there's anything, I mean, this shouldn't even be. There should just be one. I said this right at the very beginning of doing these shows. There should be one campaign. It's not kick racism out or Black Lives Matter or this or that. Don't be a cunt.
Don't
be a cunt.
Well, Dino's got it spot on there. Dean Yates has got it. They love these tags and labels. They're designed to cause unrest, which is absolutely spot on. It does that. I mean, you imagine, would there be such a stinking uproar if it was just Lives Matter? Because of the emphasis on the colour, that's where the problem begins. It's the emphasis on the colour. Yeah.
And it ends there as well, because it makes victims out of everybody. Everybody's a victim. White people are victims because they say, "Oh, doesn't my life not matter?" and all lives matters. And Black Lives Matter. It gets a victim culture in black people because what they've been told by their leaders, and this has fucking been going on for years. They've been told by their leaders that, you know, the second-class citizens, and that the white people have been trying to, you know, enslave them and do all the. They've been fed as much bullshit as fucking we have, right?
Yeah.
They're here to take your jobs and do this and all that. And they've been fed as. You've been fed as much bullshit as I've been fed. As a black guy, you've been fed as much bullshit as me, a white guy. It's just that it's different bullshit, and it's divisive bullshit, and it's bullshit that is designed to make people like me and you, argue against each other and end up hating each other because we can't make the other person see our point of view. And when does that ever happen anyway? You know, when does that ever? If me and you were genuinely having a row about something, and we're genuinely having a fucking row about something, we are the type of people that can say, right, we'll agree to disagree and we'll leave it at that.
Exactly.
Right? But other people can't. It's got to be, oh, I'm blocking you. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm fucking this. Oh, he's a shill. He's that. He's the other. I mean, I fucking got it.
But then again, I mean, it's that thing. You know, I go back to it, and I'll just say a quick good night to Bandit Buster. Take care. See you soon. It's that. I mean, barriers are being put up in front of people without them seeing it. You know, they can't see it. They can't see that these things have been placed to, you know, separate and divide us all. You know, and it's up to us as adults to turn around and say, you know what, fuck you, fuck your agenda. We're getting on with our life together. You're not going to join us. Fuck off. That's me. Plain and simple, big swear words. I can't do with it. I have literally blocked people off my page without even saying anything to them because they put the Black Lives Matter thing on there. And granted, they are people that have just recently appeared, although they've been on my Facebook page for God knows how many years, and this is the first time they've ever commented on it. You know, I told the story of when I came onto Facebook. In fact, when I first moved to Portugal, it was amazing the amount of old school friends that came onto my Facebook page and befriended me. And, you know, I was telling you the story of the nickname they gave me. In the last few years of school, they called me Reggin, which I actually took on board, this name of Reggin. It wasn't until that I wrote it down and read it backwards, which is obviously nigger, you know. And
Reggin. I thought
Reggin.
Reggae, as in
no,
music.
Reggin. And it wasn't until I actually, you know, realised what they'd done, is that, you know, obviously I was deeply hurt because you're talking maybe 3-4 months down the line, I'd realised what they were actually calling me. You know, they were laughing, hey, Reggin, how you doing? And I would go, yeah, I'm all right, fine, just carry on. So these people that had befriended me, tried to befriend me on Facebook, I actually accepted the friend's request and then reminded them of the fact and then blocked them. Because I've no time for people like that, you know. Same as the people that I haven't spoken to for years have suddenly appeared with the Black Lives Matter and oh dear, and are we going to go out and protest? Fuck off! I don't want to know. I don't want to know because, you know, that's part of the problem for me because they're following the agenda.
Yeah, and they're falling into it, mate. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that on any good, decent human being doesn't want another human being to have to go through that. You know,
exactly.
Just based upon fucking nothing, based upon fuck all. They probably did it because they think you've got a bigger knob than them. You know? You know what people are? How fucking stupid people are. They're fucking total and utter wankers. I just wanted to say before we go, because we're on 2200, I think Uni's doing a show, so I'll have a listening on that. So I don't know if you're going to have a listening, but I'll probably have a listening. I'll just get myself downstairs, get myself settled, and then I'll pop it on me tablet and have a listen to Uni's show. So if he's doing one, if he's not, then bollocks Uni.
Matthew, Matthew Cad.
I just wanted to say, before we started, we actually got a thumbs down before we started, didn't we?
Yeah,
I don't think
we did.
A few thumbs up. We got a thumbs down before we even fucking started. So
whoever did the thumbs up,
yeah.
We
So
love
if you can hammer thumbs up for us, that would be great. There you go. Look at them. Look at his. Harry pursed his lips and his beautiful mouth came towards you. Anyway, so
Matthew, I just got to say to Matthew, find me on Facebook and then we'll have a bit of a chat and we can share information. That'd be great. And anybody, I'll say this to anybody that's there. If you find me on Facebook, Owen Lloyd Martin, I'll send you an invite for my online party on Saturday. Come and join me. We'll have a very good laugh. All right, good laugh in the sunshine.
Awesome, yeah, it's birthday on Saturday, but we'll be back tomorrow night anyway. We'll see if we can get a guest between now and then, between us. But like I say, I've not been concentrating this week, so that's it. We're touch and go whether we're going to do a show anyway. The way I felt, but it seems to have gone all right. So thank you very much to everyone for listening. Owen, I'm going to give you the last word. We'll see everyone tomorrow night. Let me see if there's anything that I need to. Don't forget to have a look in at the Jeremy Bamber campaign as well. I'm sure you'll be able to find it if you Google it. The other search engines are available, and of course, go get yourself and have a watch of some of them behaviour panels. The behaviour panels. I've put a link into the. I think I've put a link into. Let me just see. I think I've put a link in. And I shall pop a link in there now, and then you'll be able to go on there if if you're not.
Jason, if you put my email address on, I'm sure you've got my email address on there. arrochella@gmail.com. That's ARROCHELA farm@gmail.com.
What hell did you make it that long for?
Because I wanted to, really. Midnight Gardener, get in touch with us. Send us an email, and we'll have a chat. All right.
Super Leeds has got his email, so anybody who wants Owen's email, just go through Super Leeds.
Yeah, go through Super Leeds and we'll have a chat on that. Yeah, Jason, thank you very much once again. Great to be here.
No, listen, it's your show as well now.
I'd like to say, I'm going to be talking to my wonderful, beautiful lady over there in the UK. So I may be a bit late on Eunice. Eunice just popped up there. Eunice, if you're doing your show, we'll come have a peek in, but I'm going to be a bit late because I want to talk to my wonderful lady. Yes, I have a new lady, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very happy about that.
Excellent. And we're all very happy for you.
Thank you.
I haven't. I've got the same old one, but she's a good one.
She's lovely. I won't have anything wrong said about her.
Oh, well, no, everybody wants to do. I'll have you over money. Listen, thanks everybody for watching us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night. Jason and Owen on Raconteurs News. And if you want to get in touch with us, you know my email address, jasonowens98@aol.com, and you can get Owen's. I will get yours so that I can put it up on screen and that. But for now,
I'll nip it in the chat room. I'll nip it on the chat room for everybody. How's that?
Yeah, pop it in chat room. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to us tonight. It's just a guy whose life matters and a guy whose life doesn't matter, chatting to each other on a level playing field as the way it should be. So we'll see you again tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll have a guest. If not, we'll find something to talk about. We always do, and I keep taking forgetting to take my journal downstairs with me, which always lets me write down shit that I find funny. So anyway, good night to everybody. Thanks for everyone in the chat room for all your support, and thanks to Owen as well. And we'll see you again very soon. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Good night, buddy.